Good morning, everyone. So, the topic for today is all about strategic marketing. So, when we say strategic marketing, it is a method through which an organization differentiates itself from its competition by focusing on its strengths to provide better service and value to its customers. So, the goal of strategic marketing is to make the most of an organization's positive differentiation over its competition through the customer's perspective. In strategic marketing, we will also discuss about the planning, SWOT analysis, portfolio models, five forces model, and the growth strategies in business.
Strategic planning. It is the art of creating specific business strategies, implementing them, and evaluating the result of executing the plan in regards to a company's overall long-term goals and desires. It is also a concept that focuses on integrating various departments such as accounting and finance, marketing, and human resource within a company to accomplish its strategic goals. Strategic planning is also essentially synonymous with strategic management. Strategic planning process. It requires considerable thought and planning on the part of a company's upper level management before setting on a plan of action and determining how to strategically implement it. In a strategic planning process, the company management will hopefully settle on a strategy that produces positive results that can be executed in cost-efficient manner with a high likelihood of success. The development and executing of strategic planning are typically viewed as consisting of being performed in three critical steps, and these are those steps. First is the strategy formulation. It is a process of formulating a strategy. A company will first assess its current situation by performing an internal and external audit. The purpose of this is to identify the organization's SWOT analysis, and Ms. Portreyes will discuss the SWOT analysis later, and if what will be the result of the analysis, the manager will decide on which plan or markets they should focus on. Second is the strategy implementation. The company needs to establish a specific target or goals related to putting the strategy into an action and allocate resources for strategy's execution. An effective strategy implementation involves developing a structure or framework for implementing the strategy, maximizing the utilization of relevant resources, and directing the marketing efforts in line with the strategy's goals and objectives. Implementing the strategic plan is even more important because a well-implemented plan brings about the company to more success. And the last one is the strategy evaluation. It is important for managers to evaluate the performance of a chosen strategy after the implementation phase. Strategy implementation involves three crucial activities, which is reviewing the internal and external performance of factors affecting the implementation of the strategy, measuring the performance, and taking corrective steps to make the strategy more effective. In these steps, it involves analyzing the strategic plan and assessing how will the company determine whether their strategic choice as implemented meet their objectives and goals. Benefits of a strategic planning. Strategic planning helps the firm to prepare proactively and address issues with a more long-term view. They also enable a company to initiate, influence instead of just responding to the situation. And there are some benefits of strategic planning. These are the primary benefits derived from the strategic planning. First is it helps to formulate a better strategies using logical and systematic approach. This is often the most important benefit. Some studies show that strategic planning itself makes a significant contribution to improving a company's overall performance, regardless of the success of a specific strategy. Second is it enhances communication between employers and employees. It is initiated through participation and dialogue among managers and employees, which shows their commitment to achieving organizational goals. The last one is the empowers individuals working in the organization. The increased dialogue and communication across all stages of the process strengthens employees' sense of effectiveness and importance in the company's overall success.
SWOT analysis. What is SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis is a framework used to evaluate a company's competitive position and to develop strategic planning. It also assesses internal and external factors as well as current and future potential. And SWOT analysis stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It's also a technique for assessing these four aspects of the business, and it's also an incredibly simple yet a powerful tool to help to develop the business strategy, whether you're building a startup or guiding an existing company. Strengths. Strengths describe what an organization excels and what separates it from the competition. And strength is also part of it internal. It gives positive attributes of the company. And these are the things that are within your control. Number one, what is our competitive advantage? Number two, what resources do we have? And three, what products are performing well? And this is the example of strengths: abundant financial resources, well-known brand name, economies of scale, lower cost raw materials or processes, superior management talent, better marketing skills, good distribution skills, and committed employees. Weaknesses. Weaknesses stop an organization from performing at its optimum level. They are areas where the business needs to improve to remain competitive. Weaknesses are the negative factors that distract from your strengths. And these are the things that you might need to improve on. Where can we improve? What products are underperforming? Where are we lacking resources? And this is the example of weaknesses: a weak brand, high levels of debt, an inadequate supply chain, or lack of capital. Opportunities. Opportunities refers to favorable external factors that could give an organization or a competitive advantage. Opportunities are the external factors in your business environment that are likely to contribute to your success. And these are the things you may need. Number one, what technology can we use to improve operations? Two, can we expand our core operation? Three, what new market segment can we explore? And this is the example of opportunities. If a country cuts tariffs, a car manufacturer can export its cars into a new market, increasing sales and market shares. Threats. Threats refer to factors that have the potential to harm an organization. Threats is also part of external factors that we have no control over. And these are the things we may need to know. What new regulation threaten operations, what do our competitors do well, and what consumer threats threaten business. An example of threats: a drought is a threat to a wet producing company as it may destroy or reduce the coffee yield. And how to do a SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is a technique for assessing the performance, competition, risk, and potential of a business, as well as part of a business such as product line or the division, an industry, or the entity. So how to use SWOT analysis? Its simplicity allows anyone to participate without prior knowledge of the methods and encourages participants. It can be used to assess places, competitors, business, and even to do self-assessments. Clearly differentiates between internal, which is the strengths and weaknesses, and external, the opportunities and the threats, factors to help decision making. The four elements above are common to all SWOT analysis. However, many companies further compartmentalize these elements into two distinct subgroups, which is the internal and external. So internal, what occurs within the company, serves as a great source of information for the strengths and weaknesses category of the SWOT analysis. Example of internal factors include financial and human resources, tangible and intangible brand names, assets and operations, and efficiencies. External, what happens outside of the company is equally as important to the success of a company as an internal factors. External influences such as monetary policies, market changes, and access to suppliers are categories to pull from to create a list of opportunities and weaknesses.
Portfolio models. Portfolio models are tools used to compare all SBUs or strategic business unit within a company on specific criteria to give an indication of the most logical strategic direction to take each SBU and to what extent. So there are two matrix of portfolio models. First is the BCG matrix, second is the GM matrix. So BCG matrix, or otherwise known as Boston Consulting Group Growth Share Matrix, is used to represent the company's investment portfolio. Large corporations usually face problems in allocating resources among various units and product lines. To cope with this problem, in 1970, Bruce Henderson designed a matrix for the group called as BCG matrix. It is based on two factors, which are the growth rate of the product market and the market share held by the company in the respective market in comparison to its competitors. So BCG matrix helps the corporation in analyzing the product lines or business units for prioritizing them and allocating resources. The model aims to identify the problem of resource deployment among different business segments. In this approach, various businesses of a company are classified in a two-dimensional grid: the market growth rate and the relative market share. Market growth rates, the rate at which a market size is increasing. It is usually expressed as a percentage per annum. Market growth comparisons are primary barometer of the progress of a business. Then relative market share is a metric that helps company identify their position in the market compared to their leading competitors. The market share of the latter is a benchmark. So this is the BCG matrix. Star, it represents those products which are growing at a faster rate and requires a huge investment to maintain their position in the market. So star in the BCG matrix are products that the start of the product life cycle. The growth and market share are high because of the product is at the start of the product life cycle. The margins are usually also high. A lot of being invested in marketing. It is important for a company to have star. Here you can earn big money. To get star, for example, a company must invest in product development. If you have a star as a company, the strategy for this product must be aimed at gaining as much market share as possible. An example of a product that can be classified as star in the BCG matrix is the LED lamp from Philips. Next is the cash cow. Cash cow are the products whose growth is low but holds high market share. They reap a lot of cash for the company and do not require financial for expansion. The cash cow in BCG matrix are the products that have been on the market for some time. They have ended up in the so-called maturity stage of the product life cycle. A product that can be classified as a cash cow in the BCG matrix generally has high market share, a reasonable margin, and limited growth or a slight decrease. The cash cow are low. The production line is largely recouped and there is a limited investment in marketing. With cash cow, it is important that you as a company optimize the profit. So go see you can. For example, optimize processes and those reduce cost. An example of a product that can be classified as a cash cow is the Philips energy saving lamp. Next is the question mark. Question mark, it indicates those products which possess a low market share in high growth market, and so need heavy investment to hold their shares in the market, but do not generate cash in the same proportion. Cash ay, question mark and the BCG matrix are the products of which the future is not entirely certain. The market growth is high, but the market share low. The company must make the choice, invest in marketing and try to make a product a star, or let the product flows down to become a dog, or in the other words, stop investing and even stop the product in the future. The strategy for products that have been designated as a question mark must either be focused on growth, or to turn the product into star, or on cost saving to turn the product into cash cow. An example that can be considered as a question mark in BCG matrix is the tablet from Philips. The market is growing very fast, but it takes a fortune in marketing to gain a large market share in this. The question mark is sometimes referred to as problem child in the other explanation about the BCG matrix. Then next is dog. Dogs represent Dogs represent those products which either have a high growth rate nor high market share. Such products generate enough cash to maintain themselves, but will not survive in the long term. So, dogs in the base BCG matrix are products at the end of the product life cycle, or products that have to compete against the competition. The margin are low, the market share is low, and the market barely grows or even shrink. The company will no longer invest in marketing. Many companies will choose not to produce the product at all. An example that can be considered as a dog is in the BCG metric is the plasma TV from Philips.
Good morning, sir. GE Metrics, alternately known as a General Electric Models, is a business planning matrix. The models inspired by traffic lights, which are used to manage traffic as crossing, wherein green lights say go, yellow say function, and the red say stop. The matrix comprises of 9 cells with 2 major dimensions: the business trend and the industry attractiveness. Business trend is influenced by market share, brand image, profit margin, customer loyalty, technological capability, and so on. On the other hand, industry attractiveness is influenced by drivers such as pricing trend, economics of scales, market size, market growth, brand, segmentation, distribution structure, and etc. GE Metrics is also help devise their strategy with respect to different products line. The products they should add in the range of product offering by them, its real opportunity, farm, should invest. GE Metrics, there are 2 major dimensions: the business strength and market attractiveness. When the various product line or business unit are drawn on the metric, strategy choice can be made on the basis of their position in the metrics. Product falling into green section reflect the business is the good position, but the product line yellow section needs a managerial decision for making choice in the product, and the red zone are dangerous as they will lead the company of loss. BCG metrics can be understood as the growth share models that reflect a good business and the market share possessed by the firm. On the other hand, GA metrics is also termed as multi-factors portfolio metrics, with business use in market making strategy making strategies choice can for product line or business unit based on their position in the grid. BCG metrics is simple in comparison to GA metrics, as the former is easy to draw and consists of only 4 cells, while the latter consists of 9 cells. The two dimensions of which BCG metrics is based are market growth and market share. Conversely, industry attractiveness and business trend are two factors of GA metrics. BCG metrics is used by companies to deploy the resource among various business units. On the country front, use GA metrics for realize investment among various business units. And BCG metrics is only a single measure, while GA metrics is multiple measure. BCG metrics is represent 2 degrees of market growth and market share. The high and low in the contracts is GA metrics. There are 3 degrees of business trend: the strong, average, and weak, and industry attractiveness are high, medium, and low. To sum up, we can say that the two models are similar, but they have different that cannot be ignored. While the BCG matrix is simple to plan, easier to understand, the GE matrix is that difficult to draw and interpret. However, it is free from certain limitation of GE matrix. The comparison chart. The basic for comparison sa BCG metrics, meaning and GE metrics, the number of cell of BCG metrics is 4, GE metrics 9, and factors market share and market growth. The GE metrics industry attractiveness and business trend, objectives, the measure, single and multiple, classification, the 2 degrees and the 3 degrees. And that's all. Thank you.
So good morning everyone. My topic for today is Porter's Five Forces model. So Porter's Five Forces is a simple but powerful tool for understanding the competitiveness of your business environment and for identifying your strategy's potential profitability. So these forces is useful because when you understand the forces in your environment or industry that can affect your profitability, you will be able to adjust your strategy accordingly. For example, you would take fair advantage of a strong position or improve a weak one and avoid taking. Then, Porters recognize that organizations likely keep a close watch on their rivals, but he encouraged them to look beyond the action of their competitors and examine what other factors would impact the business environment. So he identified 5 forces that make up the competitive environment or which can endure your profitability, and these are the 5 forces model. So the first one, we have competitive. The competitive rivalry, it is a measure of extent of competition among existing firms. Intense rivalry can limit profits and lead to competitive moves, including price cutting, increased advertising, expenditures, or spending on service or improvements and innovation. So competitive Rivalry. This looks at the number of the strength of your competitors. How many rivals do we have? How they are? And how does the quality of their products and service compare with yours? So where rivalry is intense, companies can affect customers with ag- aggressive price cuts and high impact marketing. Also, in markets with lots of rivals, your suppliers and buyers can go elsewhere if they feel that they are not getting a good deal from you. So, on the other hand, where competitive rivalry is minimal and no one else is doing what you do, then you will likely have tremendous strength and healthy profit. So the second forces model is the supplier power. So this is the degree of control a provider of goods or service can expert on its buyer. Supplier power is the link to the ability of suppliers to increase prices, decrease quality, or limit the number of products they will sell. So supplier power is determined by how easy it is for your supplies to increase their prices, how many potential suppliers do we have, and how unique the product or service that they provide, and how expensive would it be to switch from one supplier to another. So the more you have to choose from, the easier it will be to stitch to a cheaper alternative. But the fewer supplier where are and they are more you need their help, the stronger the position and their ability to charge you more. And that can impact your profit. The third forces model is the buyer power. So it refers to a customer's ability to reduce prices, improve quality, or generally play industry participants of one another. This ponted force can offer insight into existing potential tactics and strategies that directly drive industry revenue such as pricing or consumer targeting, to name two, and can generally help explain why some companies fail while others strive in a given industry. So here in Buyer Power, you ask yourself how easy it is for buyers to drive your prices down, how many buyers are there, and how big are their orders, how much would it cost them to stitch from your product or services to those of a rival. Are you buyers strong enough to dictate terms to you? So when you deal with only a few savvy customers, they have more power. But your power increase if you have many customers. Next, the fourth forces, we have threat of substitution. So this refers to likelihood of your customers finding a different way of doing what you do. So for example, if your supplier is a unique software product that automates an important process, people may substitute it by doing the process manually or by outsourcing it. So substitution that easy and cheap to make can weaken your position and strengthen your profitability. So the last forces model in Porter's is threat of new entry. So this refers to the ability of new companies to enter into an industry. So threat of new entry, your position can be affected by people's ability to enter your market. So think about how easy this could be done. How easy it is to get a foothold in your industry of market. How much would it cost and how tightly is your sector regulated? So it takes little money and effort to enter your market and complete effectively, or if you have a little protection for your key technologies when Rivals can quickly enter your market, then weaken your position if you have a strong and durable barriers to enter. Then you can perceive a favorable position and take fair advantage of. So the five forces model teaches us that competition has multiple dimensions. It is important how many direct competitors we have, but it is also important if clients can choose to use alternative products or if new entrants are likely to enter the market and increase current levels of competition. In addition, we shouldn't forget that clients and supplier can have a very strong bargaining power and indicate the terms if the companies in an industry are unavailable to do anything about it.
Growth strategies and business. Market penetration. This strategy goal is to increase sales of existing product or service in existing markets, thereby increasing your market share. You can accomplish this by luring customer away from your competitors and or ensuring that your existing customer purchase your product or service more frequently. This can be accomplished through price reduction, increased promotion, and distribution support, the acquisition of a competitor in the same market, or minor product refinement. Market penetration is one business growth strategy when a small business decides to market existing product in the same market it has been using. It employs a market penetration strategy. According to a small business expert, the only way to grow using existing product and market is to increase market share. Market development. This entails expanding existing product or service sales into previously untapped markets. Market expansion entails determining how companies' existing offer can be sold in new market or how to grow the existing market. This can be accomplished through various customer segments, such as industrial buyers for a product that was previously only sold to household, new areas or regions throughout the country, or international markets. A company may consider a market expansion strategy for a variety of reasons. First, the competition may be so intense that there is no room for expansion in the current market. A company's sales and profit cannot be increased unless it finds new market for its product. A small business may also use a market expansion strategy if it discovers new application for its product. A small self-distributor, for example, who sell to retail store may discover that factory workers also use its product. Product development. The goal is to introduce new products or service into existing market. Product development can be used to expand the offer made to current customer in order to increase their turnover. This product can be obtained by investing in additional product research, development, acquiring the rights to manufacture someone else's product, purchasing the product and branding it, joint development with another company whose ownership requires access to the firm's distribution channels or brand. When small business use a product expansion strategy, also known as product development, they continue to sell their current market. When the technology begins to change, a product expansion growth strategy often works well. A small business may also be forced to introduce new products as older ones became obsolete. Diversification. This entails introducing new products or service into previously untapped markets. Diversification is the most dangerous strategy. It entails the company marketing completely new products and service in a completely unknown market. This type of strategy can be extremely dangerous. When using a diversification growth strategy, a small business must plan carefully. Marketing research is necessary because a company must determine whether or not consumers in the new market will like new products. Diversification may be divided into further categories. Horizontal diversification. This entails the company purchasing or developing new products with the intention of selling them to existing customer groups. These new products are frequently technologically or commercially unrelated to the existing products, but they may be appealing to existing customers. For example, a company that previously manufactured notebooks may now enter the pen market with its new product. The second is vertical diversification. The company enters one of its suppliers or customers. For example, suppose you own a company that renovates home and offices, and you start selling paints and other construction materials for use in your business. Third, concentric diversification. Concentric diversification entails the creation of a new line of products or service that share technical or commercial similarities with an existing product line. This type of diversification is frequently used by small consumer goods producers, such as when a bakery begins producing pastries or dough products. And the last one is conglomerate diversification. Is shifting to new products or services that have no technological or commercial relationship with current products, equipments, and distribution channels, but may appeal to new customer groups. The high return on investment in the new industry is the driving force behind this type of diversification. It is frequently used by large corporations looking for ways to balance their cyclical and non-cyclical portfolios. And that is all for our report. Thank you for listening.